friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our next project. This thing's been giving us a lot of trouble. That's one of the reasons why we bought a new one. Today's the day I'm going to try and take a look and see if I can fix it. I don't know if it's something wrong with the carburetor. This thing was surging all over the place. This is the problem I'm having with this thing. I don't know. There's an electronic governor control. I'm going to look at that and the carburetor. The RPMs are all over the place, even at rest. It's very hard to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to take a look at the carburetor, but I also want to take a look at the valve adjustment and see if these valves are in proper adjustment. So in the owner's manual, and the valve adjustment is 10 thousandths. Here's my trusty feeler gauge from, I don't know how old this thing is, but I've had it forever. There's 7, there's 9, here's 10. Okay, so I'm going to yeah, look at the little valves. So we want to take out the spark plug. If I get on it. I did try changing the spark plug out and that didn't do anything to change the problem we're having. So what we want to do now is we want to get our piston to top dead center with both of these valves in the closed position. The way a four-stroke engine works is you have intake, then you have compression, and then you have power, and then you have exhaust. I got a wooden dowel rested on top of the piston, and I'm going to feel for the piston to come down and up. There goes the intake. Okay, now we're in compression. You could feel the dowel rod moving up and down with the piston. You got to be careful not to pinch it. We want to be on the compression stroke. So right when the piston stops moving up. Not easy to do with the, right there. You could feel it. So you could see there's a little play in these rocker arms. The distance between the valve and the rocker should be 10 thousandths of an inch. Let's see what we have here. What you want to do is you want to get your feeler gauge right between the valve and the rocker. And I'll tell you what, it is a tight fit. You want to have just enough friction, but you don't want it to push down on the valve. And I feel like it is pushing down on the valve. Wow. So they are pretty tight. Now what will happen is if they're too tight, you know, these things, this is going really fast up and down, opening and closing. You could run into a situation that they're not closing all the way properly. That's why it's important to have the right clearance here. I'm going to go ahead and loosen up on it a little bit. Maybe that'll be the problem I'm having. It's definitely tight. You should be able to have a little friction, but it shouldn't be that tight. So you want to hold the adjuster while you tighten down the lock nut and try not to move the adjuster in the process. Alright, so we held it in place with the needle nose and we tightened it down. Now, I definitely have a better feeling about 10 thousandths of an inch. I'm going to loosen the lock nut, tighten the lock nut down. I'm going to go ahead and start this and then have you listen to it and we can see what we got going on. Hopefully this did something. Let's take a look. I don't know. You know, even when I hold the carburetor steady, the engine seems to break up a little bit. That's why I thought maybe there was a problem with the valves. But the adjustment looks right on those valves now, so I'm going to pull apart the carburetor. This carburetor was a little tricky to find. I had to basically call Generac themselves, give them the model number off the machine, She was very nice on the phone. They were able to email me the part number for the carburetor. And this is the part number that they emailed me, but as you can see, it was superseded by another part number. When I searched this part number, I came up with this web page, Colburn Power Systems, and they had it with the new part number. There's the price, $59.89 as of making of this video. And you can see we have original Generac replacement parts. So right here is the actual model number of the machine right on the outside cover. Okay, so it's not the whatever they call it, the GP 2200i. That's the actual model and serial number, which is found right here, and that's the number I had to give them on the phone to find the right part. So let's take a look at it. This was the thing that concerned me, this little motor governor control. I thought maybe that might be the problem with this. It might not be the carburetor, but it's sold as one unit all together. So we're going to go ahead and replace it. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's dive right in, shall we? We're going to have to open this case up, I'm sure of it. I didn't bring my cordless drill. As you can see, everything is pretty much packed away. There's a little C-clip holding the plastic together. I'm going to take that off. We'll make sure we don't lose that. Keep your finger on those things. Okay. It's that one right in there. Not sure how we're going to grab that. I think trying to do this so you can see it, otherwise I would always have my head all the way in there. Alright, that's off. Let's turn it around and see if we can get the carburetor side now. Looks like the right one. This wire is going to go back this way. What did they give us? They gave us everything we need. Looks good. Taking this air cleaner off too. Alright, let's see. Maybe there's a nut holding this thing from behind. And there is. This is clean. I'm going to wash it out though. There's my little nut for the carburetor. Alright, so what do we got here? Actually, I'm going to just take the whole gas tank right up and out of here, I think, if I can get... Let's take this whole gas tank, just fits with these rubber. I don't know if you could see. What can we see here? I'm going to pull it off right here. I think this is the easiest place. Okay. Yay, got that off. Go ahead and get this cable off. Forgot about that. No problem. Got that off. Alright. And there it is. No gasket there on the other side? Oh, here it is. That gasket looks good. I just caught a glimpse of this from across the room. Big change from what it once was. How quickly I could reduce something just to a bunch of junk on a bench here. Let's see if we can put it back together. I'm just gonna hold these guys from flopping all over the place. Not tight. That way if I gotta move it, I can move it. Alright, so that gasket looks fine. This goes on here. Got that down in there, on there properly. Alright, this goes here, that goes there. The gas tank will flop back on top here, goes into these two rubber grommets here and here. Put our little spring clamp back in place. A little tricky to see it. Everything's hard to see. This thing is so compact. It looks good. Choke is good. Carburetor is good. Really not too bad of a job. So far so good. Where's that wire? Down in there. I'm going to put a zip tie around it too. And through. I love zip ties. They're so handy. There's so many things. You can't see what I'm doing, but you know what I'm doing. This wire, just to pull off the hot part of the engine. It's really not hot, but I could see why they did it, just to hold it. These things vibrate. Okay, that we're going to clean up for sure. I don't know if you can see, but that's pretty dirty. I'm going to take a minute and clean that. I'll be back. That's some nasty stuff right there. Alright, that's good and clean. I can see daylight through everything. You know, honestly, I never even knew something like this was inside of a muffler. I actually thought this little thing was the spark arrestor, this screen, but there's an additional screen. And, you know, we learn together. I don't know what I'm doing here. I never claim to know what I'm doing. All I know is that I'm willing to try and fix anything I can fix. The only problem that I see is there's no extra screws left over. Alright, this is the moment of truth here. Don't put too much in there. Leave it in the off position for a minute. I'm going to push some fuel through it. Put it in the choke. Economy is off. Doubting that one, I really was. Wow, that's smooth. That's economy mode. I am so psyched right now. Let me plug something in. Anyway, there you have it. We got it fixed. Another repair job done here by Rich. And I was a little worried about this one, I'll tell you. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy this holiday season. We'll see you on the next video. Do I want to say anything? That's my hair.
That's what you want to say?
So now that this generator is all fixed, we're going to use it up here at the shed. And that way we have a nice little unit to charge batteries or whatever we have to do up here.
Well, right now, what are you going to use it to do?
I'm going to charge the chainsaw battery and the battery for the lights inside the shed.
Awesome.
Oh, it was on economy. There you go. This is for the battery. All right.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
All right.
We're charging.